In the early 90s, the community was ravaged with crack and the violence that came from crack.
Members of the D.C. Air and National Guard are now helping police and neighbors patrol some of the district's more drug and crime-infested streets.
There was a great need for revitalization because also the city, D.C., was losing population.
There was a big exodus back in the 70s and 80s to Prince George's County.
So we're a beautiful city. We're a city with a emerging downtown. We're a city on the move. We're a city proud to be America's capital.
Mayor Williams had a strategy to attract thousands and thousands of newer, affluent residents to the district, and so
we had to find ways in which community development organizations who were nestled, in the heart of our communities were able to be part of the renaissance and change.
Things were really changing in neighborhoods in the district pretty rapidly. Rents were going up.
Much of the housing that was available to folks of low or moderate income means were substandard in quality.
DC at that time was being managed by the Financial Control Board. So that was an entity that the federal government put in place that, literally managed the city's finances.
We could not get investors, even with incentives to come to the district and want to play in this affordable space area.
So it was a big challenge for everybody, and there wasn't enough resources really to address the problem.
In those years, really a lot of seeds of displacement were placed, especially in Black neighborhoods.
DC was still reeling from the realization that Chocolate City was no longer going to be Chocolate City.
We had two sets of groups.
One focused on housing and the other focused on economic development.
Basically, the economic development groups were led by Black people, and then the housing groups, but most, were led by white people.
Both of them were supported with community development block grant dollars from the city. However, they came through two different agencies. And as a result of that, there was a lot of contention.
The city pitted us against each other.
So whenever we, testified about focused on the community development block grant budget, it's like, wait, hold up. We have another partner who also does economic development, and this same funding is going to impact them.
Jim Dickerson, who was the president of MANA, began preaching that we shouldn't be opposed to each other. We should be advocating for a larger pie and for growth in the funding that we all receive. And the best way to do that is to bring our two advocacy organizations together. He managed to convince folks to go ahead and merge the two organizations together.
Well, the people were the ones, when the elephants fight, the grass gets trampled. So the people were the ones that were losing out.
You're bringing these as yet not married groups together from 2 to 1, and we needed somebody who could hold up a vision that was big enough for everybody to fit in.
Bob Pullman, I had the pleasure of hiring him, and he was the right person because it needed different skill sets.
We needed that sort of external trust from government, and Bob, coming out of a career in government, was a respected person already.
When Bob Pullman became the executive director, 2005, I think, he added an emphasis on advocacy. He felt that the organization was really well positioned to be an effective advocate and to build better relationships with DC government.
The most powerful lobby group or the most powerful advocacy group, that's the group that gets funded. So we began to understand what the politics of community development and affordable housing was.
It was always chaotic. It has never stopped being chaotic, and the magic is in that chaos. It is in coming together, bringing points of view that are held together by a common set of values.
We became one voice and one power.